Dearest listeners,
Book babes and book bros.
welcome to Book Babble. We're Rachel,
And Tanya, aka the Witlit Women, and your host for the day.
and today we have Heidi Adams in the hot seat for our AMA questions. Do you want to do a quick introduction, Heidi?
Sure. Yeah, I am a new author. I just had my debut come out in October called Rose Moon. I have been married for a long time with three beautiful kids, and I couldn't be happier with my family life. And I live outside of Philadelphia, about 45 minutes in a suburb. I'm Pennsylvania native. But yeah, that's a little bit about me, and happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you on. I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock. Are you ready to babble?
Ready to babble.
All right, let's get it started.
So, just with the basics, what inspired you to become an author?
Um, Actually, I I always have stories. Kind of I don't know, like ever since I was a kid, I've always sort of, if I've read a book or if I've watched a movie, I've always wondered how I would spin it. So like any kind of emotion, any kind of, feeling from a song or a book or a movie, I've always kind of wanted to put my own take on the story. And that's, I think, when I noticed I wanted to tell stories because it's like, what if I put this ending here? And so I wanted to kind of write the stories that I wanted to read. And I think that came out of me at a really young age. So I think that's what started the whole process.
That's amazing. I love that you draw inspiration from other, art sources like books and movies and music. So that's amazing.
Thanks.
Um, what character do you think you personally connect with the most, whether it's one of your own or just one you read?
Carter. I 100% connect to Carter the most because he is made from two people. His personality is made from like three different inspirations, and two of them are two people that are important in my life. One's one of my best guy friends that I've had for 30 years. Another one was a client that I had for like 10 years when I worked at an advertising agency. And I think the most important part of him is he's has some of my personality in there too, but it's like the person I want to be. So it's like, sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe I can act like Carter, but he's like, if I'm writing a situation, I'm like, why, like, how would I want to react in this situation? It's like the me that I wish I was in him. So I really connect to him in that way. And then Ella, you'll get to learn more about Ella, but I was on the USA Taekwondo team for several years back in the day. So she has that side of me, like that fighting warrior side of me. So I connect to her as well. So that's fun to flesh out.
Oh my gosh, what a little fun fact. I love that.
Oh, thanks.
I know I'm all over here like fangirling over the characters. I love that about both of them, actually.
Oh, thank
And that they
you.
relate to you that way. So when we're thinking about like writing, what advice have you received that was really helpful in this process, or even before you started writing Rose Moon?
The best advice I ever received was from my one editor. She's also my writing coach. And when I very first started working with her years ago, I thought she was being like lazy because she's like, just write the book how you want to write it. She's like, just do it. There's no process. Everybody does it differently. And I'm like, really? I'm like, okay, like thanks for the guidance. But that was the best advice I ever got because everybody writes it differently and you have to just do it. You have to just do it your way, see what works for you. What works for me might not work for somebody else. And you really just have to just jump in, enjoy the process and just do it what works for you.
That's amazing advice. Perfect, actually.
Yeah, she's great.
All right, one of my favorite questions. Can you tell me a secret about your book that no one else knows?
Oh boy. You know what? It's funny. I was like, I know they're going to ask me this one because this one's probably the hardest for me to answer. Um, I don't really know if I do have a big secret about it, honestly. All of my secrets about my book are really they have a lot of spoilers to where the story's going, so I can't really share too much about big secrets like big bombs that will be dropping in later books in the series. But a lot of my books, I guess this is a little secret to those who aren't beta readers. All of my books have all of my 16 beta readers' names in the book, whether it's a first name or a last name or a combination of both. So people probably don't know that unless if obviously they were a beta reader. So I guess that's a secret.
That's a really cool
Fun
secret,
fact,
actually.
secret.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I was happy to do that. And like it was funny because like I didn't tell some of them. So when they got to it, they're like, "Oh my God." Like so cool.
Fangirl 100%. Yeah.
It's fun.
I know we just have a few minutes, but when did you know that you wanted to write this story specifically?
This story, oh man. Okay. So I think it originated back when I watched the movie Splash. I don't know if you've ever seen it. The very opening scene with Tom Hanks when he like jumps in off the boat and then hold hands under the water with Kid Daryl Hannah as a mermaid. That whole connection that they had in the whole first beginning of the book was where my wheels started turning. But U2's song Electrical Storm, that was really like the birth of was the birthplace of Rosamund and Carter and Ella. From the lyrics to the video to the vibe, the video has a man and a mermaid in it, and their emotional connection is so beautiful, and that really just like sparked the entire world. So
it's chef's kiss. Absolutely. I agree. Okay, well, we just hit time for a 5-minute AMA session, and it was wonderful. So we will go ahead and continue our chat, but you all can catch the rest of our episode on Spotify and YouTube in full. So yeah.
awesome.
I just want
Thanks,
to take a
guys.
minute to like really talk about how beautiful your book is. Like it is just
Oh,
gorgeous.
thank
Like,
you.
I love this. It's on a special display in my house because it's just gorgeous.
Oh,
Oh
thank
yeah.
you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Yay.
I agree because like it really inspired me to so I'm the one that made the video, the reel, and it was just seeing that on the cover was so beautiful. I was like, I have to capture as much of this as I can in the video. And I think like the piano with the water and the gorgeous colors, it just really brought everything to life.
That reel, I cried when I saw that reel. I did. It was, I'm not kidding. It was so beautiful and so perfect. I was like, oh my God, like you guys was amazing. Seriously, that was, talk about chef's kiss. Like that reel.
Well, we appreciate that. Rachel found all of the character inspirational pictures. I just kind of like threw it all together.
Well, when you look at the essence of a book, like I know they say don't judge a book by the cover, but like this is just captures the essence of it. And when we were looking at how to create something to go along with the review to kind of show everyone what really is this book about, it was really easy because you really just put it all right here, and so
Yeah. And you did so without like spoiling things. Like it's very much something that's going to suck you in without like giving anything away.
Yeah. And that Rosewood, it's hard to review. Like I know people are like, what do I say without like ruining it? And it's hard moving forward to like advertise the next books in the series because there's so many, secrets and there's things I can't even mention. I'm like, how am I going to do this? Like, like moving forward, like, I was trying to keep Rachel under wraps because I'm like, oh, that's kind of a spoiler. But then half of my reviews had her. So I'm like, okay, the cat's out of the bag. So I'm like, hopefully nothing else kind of leaks out. But it's like, there's things I'm realizing. I'm like, I'm going to have to accept certain things, maybe not that big bomb that drops at near the end of Rosemoon, but I'm like, I'm going to have to let go of certain secrets that are just going to come out when I move forward. So
I was going to say, you have such like the plot as it goes. I'm like, oh, this is super interesting. Okay, I'm not really sure what's happening. And the end of the book, I'm like, wait, whoa, like, mind blown. I need the next one right now. So, yeah.
The next one is going in for its developmental edit in 2 weeks. So it's I'm revising the first draft right now, and I'm hoping to have it come out this year. But it's I go through 3 phases of professional editing, and beta readers in there. So if you don't, and then you can't put anything out, they say, in November or December, unless if it's like a holiday novella. So it's like, I got to get it out by like October or I got to push it to the next year. So I don't want to rush it, but it's very, very different from Rose Moon, but I'm so happy about it. I'm so excited. So can't wait for everybody to read it.
That's so soon. Like, I feel like Rose Moon just came out. I know it didn't, but I feel like it did.
Yeah, it
That's
came out
I
amazing.
can tell
October
you, I feel
17th. So it's been out for a little while. It's
yeah,
crazy.
I feel
Yeah.
like I've been sitting here like, okay, when's it coming? So I'm going to be first in line as soon as
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Well, congratulations. That's exciting that you're already like in the editing phase and you have it written out and everything.
Yeah, it's fun. I adore these characters, and there's new characters that come in and things like that that I think people will really like, and where the story is going is really like even probably more twisty than Rose Moon, but well, hopefully I can execute it. So we'll see.
That makes
oh,
me
that's
even more
exciting.
excited.
Yeah. Oh, no, you've done an amazing job. I'm so excited about the world you've built and the characters you've developed, and there's just so much richness there. So you've done an amazing job. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Do you have any book tours planned?
I will be at the Million Lives Book Festival in May, from May 2nd to May 3rd. That's my only like official, like I guess book. I guess it's part of a book tour, but I'm doing some signings in some local salons that are in the area because I have like a bunch of friends that own salons and they want me to do some signings there. And then I'm like a feature book club, I guess, author at a local book club coming up and stuff like that. But those, yeah, like I'll be doing my first one in May, and I hope to do a couple more coming up. That'd be
That's
fun.
exciting. We might just have to make a trip one day.
Yeah,
Just a couple hours drive from us. We
Really? It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
far.
Baltimore, man. That's yeah, May. It's coming up. Jeez, make sure I'm ready for that.
You're gonna do wonderfully. It's gonna be great for you.
Thanks. Hope so.
Uh, well, we are just about out of time. Is there anything that you all want to chat about before we run out?
I'm good. Does anyone have any, did anyone have any questions? Like, I don't know. I know they could submit questions. I'm open to anything.
I think we hit the ones that got submitted. Most of the
Cool.
people were like, how did she get her ideas? What's good advice that she wants to give? So we did hit on most of those.
we try to
Awesome.
wrap them in. So
Yeah.
Awesome. I do have to give one piece of like inspiration too. Like the Splash, the Electrical Storm was the big one, but Twilight really helped me execute how to take like the paranormal elements I was working with, and figure out how I was going to move them to like a contemporary type of setting, like a world you feel like you live in every day, not like a high fantasy world. Because I wrote Rose Moon, gosh, maybe it's like 16 years ago now. It was around the time Twilight came out. I outlined it. I sort of wrote it, sort of outlined it. But then took 13 years off when my 3 kids came around, jumped back into it again. But Twilight was like, oh, I know I'm going to execute this crazy idea in my head. Like, I know how I'm going to execute it now. So that's another, I'm a big Twilight fan, because of that,
My
because it really
gosh.
helps
I
me.
didn't even connect that, but there is like that almost magical realism that you have in there. And because the characters seem it's paranormal, right? So like there's this stuff going on in the background and becomes major plot points, but the storyline's just so normal, I guess, and you did a really, I love it. So great job. Yeah, I didn't even
Thank
connect that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and actually, Ella is my little ode to Twilight, like Bella, Ella. So it's my little
Oh my
Easter egg
gosh.
ode to Twilight.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Twilight was such like an integral part of my teenage years, and it
Yeah.
helped me really get into like fantasy type stuff. So just for you to have that tie back, like that's amazing. I love that for you.
Oh, thank you. It inspired so many authors, like so many authors I've talked to. It really was like it's just like I'm real big on forbidden romance. So it's like, what's more forbidden than like 2 different species, that are like dangerous for each other, or one's dangerous for the other. And so like, it was like Bella and Edward's connection and that forbidden romance. And yeah, like I think a lot of people were really inspired by just so many different feelings that are evoked from Twilight. So it
Yes.
really
Oh
helped
my,
a lot of
agreed.
people, a lot of writers with their ideas.
Yeah, I mean, there are some published authors now that I found originally through like Twilight fanfic, and who
Yeah.
they like that's how they started, but they honed their skills and eventually wrote their own stories.
Yeah.
So it really did start this big movement.
It did. It
Shout
really
out
did. Like,
Stephanie Meyer.
I know. I mean, I wonder how she knows how like impactful she has been to
Right?
like writers.
Well,
It's
maybe you'll get
incredible.
like that one day, Heidi. I
Oh,
bet you
I
will.
hope, man.
Yeah.
I'm aiming big, that's for sure. But like, I'll, dream big, right? I hope. We'll see. I'm just happy writing. So
Well, you sure inspired us, so thank you for everything that you've done so far.
So
oh,
just kind
thank
of plugging your book here. It is Rose Moon by Heidi Adams. You can access this on Amazon. Heidi, did you have anything you wanted to say about where they can find it or?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's just on Amazon. I will probably open it up wider moving forward, but it's on KU as well. Yeah, an Amazon KU, and one day I'll probably have an audiobook too, but that's not happening right now. One day, one day.
I'm looking forward to that day.
Thank you.
All
Oh,
right, well, we are just at time, and so we'll wrap up. Thank you so much for joining us today, Heidi.
oh, thanks for having me. And you
Yeah.
guys have really been such like a blessing to me, honestly. Like you, yeah, like you're the very first reel you made for Rose Moon, and just your support has really meant a lot to me. So I was so happy to come on here today.
Thank you. It means a lot. Yeah, super, super big fans. So we're
Oh,
excited for
thanks,
you. Yeah.
guys.
Awesome. Well, we'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.